What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome on to our last subclass with Warlocks here for exotics that I'm taking with me into Lightfall. Already gone over Titan and Hunter, so make sure to go check those out for your Lightfall prep, as well as some weapons that I went over for exotics and legendaries in all three of our slots: kinetic, energy, and power weapons. So got a nice plethora of videos for y'all for Lightfall prep, so let's get into it. So the first exotic I'll be talking about is Fallen SUNSTAR, that pairs with our Arc subclass with that nice 3.0 synergy and ionic traces. So ionic conductor, when those ionic traces we create, they move faster towards us and give us more ability energy, which allows us to in turn get more arc defeats and create more arc energy via those ionic traces. So a nice positive feedback loop and synergy. Nearby allies also gain ability energy when you collect ionic traces, so this is a little support build as well for spreading that love for ability spam, because Destiny loves to juice enemies with grenades. In my opinion, is easily the best thing for ad clear in PvE, so very good build to use with arc synergy on our Warlock. Next off, we're going with the Osiris gloves in SUNBRACERS right here with helium spirals. So increases the duration of our solar grenades. Solar melee final blows grant an unlimited grenade energy for a brief time. So when we're using our incendiary snap like Colonel Mustang or our nice celestial fire and we get a defeat with it, we get that unlimited grenade energy. So with our aspect on solar Warlocks, for getting that nice juice with those grenades, like fusions having the explosion, those nice solar grenades having the blops of lava come off of them. So very good and classic SUNBRACER solar synergy right here, taking it with me into Lightfall for sure. Next on our list is another pair of gauntlets, this time pairing with our Void subclass with controversial holds. So Chaotic Exchanger, resist incoming damage while we're charging our Void Grenade. Charging Void Grenade returns grenade energy on hits, so we can get some nice crazy high damage grenades by charging it, so they last longer and do that more damage, and then we're able to get it back faster because we're doing that damage, allowing us to spam our grenades. Kind of like I said, grenades are easily the best and most effective, in my personal opinion, in that PvE realm for ad management, and with something like this, very good for damage because you get that grenade energy back consistently and can just spam them at a boss. Next on our list is Necrotic Grips, the exotic gauntlets. As you can see, Warlocks really enjoyed their exotic gloves compared to the other sets of armor, but this one right here, very fun to use and effective for that PvE realm ad management, and pairs with some of our weapons as well, like Osteostriga. So this thing has that grasp of the Devourer perk, damaging combatants poisons them, dealing damage increases over time. Defeating these poison combatants spreads that condition around, so you're able to get some crazy poison spread on enemies, and it provides airborne effectiveness with all weapons of sorrow. So not that that really matters at all for this, but the grasp of the Devourer is what we're looking for, especially pairing it with something like Osteostriga, and I'm sure we'll have some nice pairing with the Strand, so we can hit some enemies from a little bit farther away, maybe spread that poison and just be able to wipe out our new foes that are approaching. Moving on right here to our last exotic gauntlets for our Warlock with the OSMIOMANCY gloves with Ferrid Cold Snap. So our Cold Snap grenades have an additional charge that recharge quicker on direct impacts, and when it says quicker, it's like 3/4 of the energy almost instantly back. It feels like when you make direct contact with an enemy. The Seeker spawned from this Cold Snap also travels further, so with our aspects and fragments we can have some crazy crazy chain of grenades going on and those Bleak Watcher turrets, so stasis is flying everywhere. I use this a lot in endgame activities for that ad management and even holding champions and some of those stronger enemies at bay because of the freeze potential and the ability to have almost infinite cold snaps with this build and these osmiomancy gloves. So very, very key for me, and definitely going to be my go-to for the Lightfall campaign, as well as the next exotic that I'll be covering as well. That next exotic that I'm talking about is Starfire Protocol with that fusion harness. So fusion grenades have an additional charge and recharge from empowered weapon damage. So fusion grenades kills grant rift energy. So this means when we're in our well of radiance and we're doing damage on a boss or an enemy, that counts as empowered weapon damage. So we're able to get back our fusion grenades super fast. I'm sure you guys have seen it around where their horde does that tick damage and you're able to just spam fusion grenades instantly. Doing something even like Anarchy, we were able to do some nice crazy clears on Percy, the nice gigantic chicken inside of the new Spire of the Watcher dungeon. So this definitely a key thing to have, in my opinion, for that solar synergy, because you can play that support character as well as add clear and DPS by having the well to keep people alive, and that double fusion with the double explosion, absolutely crazy for DPS. Very good build and very used inside of the PvE realm. Last but not least, for our Warlock right here, we have LUNAFACTION boots for that solar synergy again. If you don't want to run that Starfire Protocol, this right here is very useful for even more of a support build because of the alchemical etchings. So when your rift gains additional ability energy to increase weapon reload speed, empowering rifts make weapon damage last longer over time. So this right here gives us that nice reload speed is what I'm talking about. So when we're inside of that well of radiance, we get both of these to proc actually, because a well of radiance is both healing as well as empowering. So it's very nice to give that reload speed to us and our fellow allies, just for that higher DPS in my personal opinion. So those are definitely my boots and my exotics that I'm taking from our Warlock into Lightfall. I know there was a couple I didn't cover for all of our subclasses in Hunter, Titan, and Warlock, but for me, those are like my essential 5 to 7 that I have for each subclass that I basically take with me and use in all situations. So hopefully this gives you a little time to prep and grind out those lost sectors to grab all of these exotics. Truly appreciate that support, getting ready, getting pumped for Lightfall and all that new content for y'all and helping you guys out. So thank you guys again for that support. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.